We're going to do something different tonight. We're going to do a fast track waiver wire. We're going to run over the cliff notes of some of the top waiver wire prospects rolling into week 6. However, Tuesday, we'll go deeper on wide receiver and running back like usual because I'll have the advanced metrics. But we're going to do an express waiver wire. We're going to go over the top players or the players that are standing out right now as of Sunday night so we can get a quick script on some of these players before we start digging into the waiver wire. But before we do dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because nobody goes harder in the paint when it comes to the waiver wire than this channel right here. I'll have about 4 or 5 more waiver wire videos out in the next few days. On top of that, we deep dive the top waiver wire players as well. Also, Rick Flair's watching you. Don't disappoint him. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out. Like I said, this is a fast track waiver wire, so we're going to be quick on this. Jaylen Wright is going to be seeing opportunities. He's got 4.3 speed. He is on the Dolphins, so you're not super excited about that until they fix the quarterback situation. Achen's going to be out, probably going to be out next week. Jaylen Wright's got speed to burn. If he sees an open crease, he can house it from anywhere on the field. He's kind of like a Keaton Mitchell, but not as good. But we got the pop and the step to get it done. A very fun, electric prospect who's got a ton of upside here. He's got to put a chip on and see what happens. He got you 86 yards, 6.62 yards per carry against the Patriots. There is some upside with this player, but there's not much upside with the Dolphins right now until they fix the quarterback position. But again, this is a player you could be looking at off the waiver wire going into week 6. Ty Chandler. We got Aaron Jones out with an injury. He's also got top end speed to burn. And the Vikings are moving the football. They are undefeated and they are looking good. And Ty Chandler, if he's getting the bulk of the workload, if Aaron Jones is out next week, we're looking at a running back here with a lot of speed that if he sees a crease, just like Jaylen Wright, could house it from anywhere on the field. He got his opportunities last year, and when he did, he was all right as the lead back. He also had some runs called back last year. His numbers would have looked a little bit better. So we've seen Ty Chandler in this role before. Different quarterback, a little bit different, but he can give you some upside on any given week. He can get you double-digit carries and can pop one loose on any given touch. That's why you like these types of running backs. Tank Bigsby is a threat to Travis Etienne right now. He is looking good. Back-to-back weeks where he led this team in rushing. Now this team has to look at these running backs to see which one they have to start, which one has to get most of the carries. Week 4, there were a couple gimme carries. There was a 54-yard run that there was just a busted hole up the gut. But week 5, we got it done. We're looking good. He's got a lot of power. He's running through faces. He's scoring touchdowns. Tank Bigsby is a guy that you got to pick up. He's going to get his opportunities. Even if they're splitting the workload 50-50 on those down games, you're still taking a chance on Tank Bigsby because bye weeks are coming up. A running back like this that pops loose every couple games here with big production is something you're going to have to be interested in because he's got a lot of upside. He's got some juice. He's scoring touchdowns, and he's just hot right now. Tyrone Tracy should have got picked up. We said it in his you need video or his deep dive that we did a few days ago. He needed to be picked up. He's got a lot of pop. He runs well. He's good between the tackles. Former wide receiver. Late round pick. But this is a great depth chart for him, especially this ambiguous backfield. He's a guy that if Singletary comes back, he's going to push for more workload. Had a big game here with 129 yards, 2 targets, 1 ball caught. This is a running back you got to peg your horse to because the upside's grand, especially if he starts getting more work going forward and if it's consistent. Josh Downs with Flacco there is a must-start wide receiver. And if Anthony Richardson's missing more games or ends up missing more time, Josh Downs is looking good. And he might start looking good with Anthony Richardson. But 22 fantasy points in week 4, 15 in week 5, over a 20% target share. just getting the work, getting volume. 12 targets in week 5, 9 in week 4, 5 in his first game back from injury. He looked good last year as well until he got banged up. He does get banged up a lot, but it doesn't matter when he's healthy and on the field and scoring fantasy points. So when he's healthy, you're starting him, and if he's not, then you know what to do anyways. Josh Downs off the waiver wire is a guy to go after. Jordan Whittington, he should have got picked up going into week 4. Now we got to take him even more serious. 18 targets in the last 2 games. He's getting a lot of volume. A lot of these are short targets, but the opportunities are grand. And even with Puka and Cooper Kupp coming back, considering he's used out of the slot and in the short game, he still might rack up targets and get upside here. The rookie's doing well and he's exceeding expectations. We got to take him a little bit more seriously, especially for these next few weeks. Tyler Conklin's getting work in the passing game. You can't say that much for tight ends, but back-to-back games of over 5 targets. For a tight end, that's grand. He's like one of the top tight ends in the National Football League right now when it comes to workload. And a guy that needs rostered, Tucker Kraft should have got picked up going into this week. However, a lot of leagues didn't do so. A lot of leagues aren't as active as my usual viewers. But if he's out there, he needs to be picked up. He's getting volume. He's looking good. Same thing with Caleb Williams. We're starting to run hot. We're starting to look good. We started a little iffy in the season, but things are starting to ramp up. If he's floating there on the waiver wire, he's a good pickup. Trevor Lawrence as well. He's steady. He doesn't go boom on you, but he's a steady quarterback to get. If you want to play the matchups, he's got a little bit of rushing upside to him, although he's not rushing too much this season. But we got Brian Thomas Jr. going off on those deep balls, which is helping out Trevor Lawrence. There's a lot of upside here. The matchup, game to game. Another quarterback you could look at is Joe Flacco if he's starting, because he's in those matchups where he's got to throw the ball around. But those are the players that we're looking at on the quick off the waiver wire. But we're going to dig into the waiver wire even more. We just got to get it primed up for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who you looking to pick up this week? I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.